Hi, Hank Green here, author of the brand new book, An Absolutely Remarkable Thing. April May is my main character. She is a young bisexual woman in New York City. She's recently graduated from art school with some of her friends who remain very close with her. She has a job that she dislikes at a startup that she doesn't think is helping anyone, but they often require her to stay very late to work. And so she's walking home from work late one early morning, basically, and she stumbles across this, what she thinks is a bizarre but kind of remarkable sculpture, and calls her friend Andy, who went to school with her, down to make a dumb video with it. And that dumb video overnight goes viral because we realize that this is not the only one of these sculptures, and that they've appeared mysteriously and with no one taking credit for it in 64 cities all over the world. And then April is swept along with this to some extent because she kind of becomes a spokesperson of like a surrogate for these sculptures. But she becomes a bit of a pundit. But she also very much wants to keep herself inserted in this conversation, and when she starts to feel like she's losing that, she does everything she can to get it back. And that process is a process of compromises for her, and maybe some compromises that she shouldn't make, and eventually it ends up being a pretty destructive thing for her. I think we sometimes think about reading as a solitary activity, like you do this thing in your house by yourself late at night, and obviously you're not having a conversation while you're reading. But I think reading is actually a social experience because, of course, the vast majority of the books that I buy are suggested to me by people. And in large part, I want to read that book so I can talk about it with them. My wife will say to me, you need to read this book so we can talk about it. And I think that is true of most great media. Like, you want to do this thing so that you can have a social experience around it. And I really, it means a lot to me that people are that is going to be the case for people reading my book. At Barnes & Noble stores across the country on October 24th at 7 p.m., there will be a discussion of my book, which is a huge honor and is very exciting, and I really hope that a lot of great discussions get had on that day at that time. So the Barnes & Noble Book Club night will happen. You can join in at your local Barnes & Noble for what should be a lively discussion.